So here is your quick and dirty guide to the muscles of the wrist and hand. I have them separated into categories. So we're first going to look at the wrist flexors, and I have initials here for you. Flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor carpi radialis, and palmaris longus. For function, flexor carpi ulnaris does flexion of the wrist and ulnar deviation. Radialis is radial deviation. Palmaris longus does just flexion. The three extensors, extensor carpi radialis longus does radial deviation as well as extension. Extensor carpi radialis brevis does just extension, and extensor carpi ulnaris does extension as well as ulnar deviation. In the hand we have what we call extrinsics, which are originating from down on the forearm. The three flexors there are flexor digitorum superficialis. Functionality there is flexion of digits 2 through 5, MCP and PIP joints only. Flexor digitorum profundus, because I'm going to ask you what's the difference, has flexion of digits 2 through 5, MCP, PIP, and DIP. Flexor pollicis longus flexes all joints of the thumb. The three extensors that are in the extrinsics are extensor digitorum, all digits 2 through 5, extensor digiti minimi, digit 5, and extensor indicis, digit 2. They all do all three joints of the fingers for extension. In the snuff box we have thumb movers. Extensor pollicis longus extends all three joints of the thumb. Remember, in the thumb it's the CMC, the MCP, and the IP. There's no DIP or PIP. Extensor pollicis brevis just extends at the CMC and MCP, and then abductor pollicis longus abducts the thumb, but it's only moving the CMC. That's the only joint that can abduct. Then we go inside the hand. We've got the final 10 muscles here. The thenar and hypothenar, you'll see, are the exact same initials to begin, AF and O, which stand for abductor, flexor, and opponens. The difference is on the thenar side, we'll have pollicis to move the thumb, hypothenar digiti minimi to move the pinky. The name tells you what it does. The only trick is that you have to remember that if it's a brevis, because we already had the longus over here, or here, we have to assume that it's not moving all the joints. So abductor pollicis brevis, CMC abduction. Flexor pollicis brevis, it's only CMC and MCP flexion, and opponens pollicis is CMC opposition. For the other three on the hypothenar, it's the same for the fifth digit. The deep palm, we have adductor pollicis, which adducts the thumb. These motions occur at the CMC. The palmar and dorsal interosseae, I gave you the acronyms of PAD and DAB to remember. The palmar adduct the digits, dorsal abduct the digits, and finally the lumbricals will allow this functionality of the hand: flexion at the MCP, extension at the IP, meaning PIP and DIP. Happy studying.